it went from a small fishing boat 2 years ago to a now 78-foot wave piercer. And it's still not in the water. It's cost us our house and everything else. And then he started looking at maybe setting a world record in this boat. Pete being Pete, likes challenges.
The plan I've got is to set a record for a powerboat to circumnavigate the globe. But the really cool thing is, we're going to fuel the boat with biodiesel, which is a renewable fuel. And I'm hoping that this is going to help to raise public awareness and acceptance for biofuels, and not just in New Zealand, but hopefully right around the globe. And this is the prototype of the boat we're going to use, but the big boat we're going to build after this is 4 times its length. So cool to be underway. It's been a while.
Pete came to us 2 or 3 years ago now. He put to us the concept that he wanted to do a round the world record attempt in a powerboat.
The prototype basically proves the concept before you embark on the major project. It is an extremely radical design concept. In this case, there's nothing been done like it before. We expect it to go fully under the water, fully pierce the wave, so it penetrates the sea and goes through it. There's a lot of knockers out there saying, oh, that's weird and radical and you shouldn't be going under the water and boats aren't supposed to do that, but that's a paradigm that people have got locked in their heads.
Now that Craig and Rupert are confident with the designs, they're sending the specifications through to the laser cutters. What we're cutting here today are the frames, and these are used along the whole length of the boat. The boat builders will put these up in a series of rows, and inside that the guys will put the foam that will make the shape of the boat. Once they get the foam all layered in here, they will put the carbon and Kevlar on top of that. They then take it out of that mould and they then go and do carbon and Kevlar on the outside of it as well. So you've got the carbon and Kevlar with this foam sandwiched between it.
We've got an offcut of the carbon uni we're using. Carbon fibre, which is what the Earthrace is built out of. It's a bloody good material, it's super light, super strong. Unfortunately it's got a nickname, black gold. It's bloody expensive. Pete's going to need about 250 grand worth of carbon to build the boat. Well, we're going to need the carbon, he's going to have to pay the bill.
Our carbon suppliers are cool, and they're wanting a deposit, which right now I don't have.
How's the boat going out there?
Getting there, yeah, it's starting to, I mean, it's just fantastic to be into it because, you know, it's been like a couple of years to get it to where we started building. The 50k deposit that you're asking for, that is unbudgeted, and we had no idea that was going to be part of the mix. You know, I guess I'm staking, you know, my life savings and my wife's life savings on this, so you know, I'm not going to let this thing fall down, but I do need some flexibility from you guys. Here's what I'd like to propose. I'll give you guys 15 grand today. You give me 2 weeks to sort out the other 35, okay? I sometimes think they think that I'm a fat cat who's got millions of dollars, and I spend 50 grand to just chip in to pay the deposit, which I don't have.
We've mortgaged the house as much as we can mortgage it. We're struggling. We haven't got anything left except for our forestry block, which I know Pete would probably like to sell, but I want to hold on to that for a while longer because it is our superannuation, and once that's gone, this is what we've got, nothing really.
Financially, things are so tight at the moment, I can't just give them 50k, but I'm hopeful they'll be okay with a bit today, and I'll just try and scrounge up the other 35k over the next couple of weeks. So. But if they don't go for it, I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
Part of saving weight is just to minimise everything and anything that goes aboard the boat. For example, if you can save a kilo of weight on the boat, it's a kilo of extra fuel you can carry, so you can go further.
Majestic have sponsored us an entertainment system.
If it doesn't need to be there, if it's not going to help the boat go forward, and if it's not fuel, you don't need it and don't have it.
Big fat entertainment system.
The owner of the boat's quite keen on putting bits and pieces on and luxuries.
Take one of these beasties here.
You carry a 1 kilo DVD player or something.
Oh, here we go.
thing, and it's 1 kilo of fuel that you couldn't carry.
So we put those on the back deck so we can...
The intent of the project is not to have fun or to be comfortable or to enjoy it, it's to set a record, and if it hurts a bit, well, that's just how it goes.
Amazing. What do you think?
Pretty cool.
You'd buy that boat, wouldn't you?
Yes,
Oh, you'd come for a ride with us. Great stuff. I'll just back my car around to here and we'll load them up. Thanks a lot, eh? We're not running her over. So we're just heading out to the boatyard now to see the first half shells of the first sponson get joined together. The sponsons are a little bit like outriggers on the boat.
We made up 2 sets of frames and we tried to make the 2 frames as identical as humanly possible.
How many do you reckon?
Probably 70
kilos. About half the weight of that last chick you picked up, eh?
We've lifted up one side, put it on the other side, and it's a very, very close match, so very happy.
Oh, look at that. The fit.
Awesome. It's done well.
Happy to see something physical taking shape after all these years, so pretty bloody happy actually. I'm very lucky to have the guys at Calibre Boats behind Earthrace. You know what one, do you, Tony?
Oh, I suppose it's better, mate.
They are building the boat at cost, but also a very cool bunch of guys to work with. Fucking nice, isn't it, eh?
I need a long lens for this.
Just fabulous.
Yeah, we're sort of watching how many guys we put on the boat, just because obviously expensive labour, but it's still ticking along pretty quick. We've got 8 guys on it at the moment.
Like icing a cake.
Got an email yesterday afternoon back from Marek. We've been really pinning our hopes on Marek to come up with the remainder of the funds, just as a loan to allow us to get the boat in the water. And so he's replied and he said they're basically declining the funding for us. So I pretty much reckoned on getting this money, and puts us in a tight spot now. It's costing me about 20k per week at the moment, and we're still falling behind schedule, and really we need to be spending about 40k and having twice the team on it. Instead, the builder's going to run overtime, and we're going to piss off a lot of sponsors and a lot of people with us. I need to have a chat to you guys to sort of bring you up to date with what's happened in the last week. On Monday afternoon, I had 2 guys pull out on the project who'd committed a number of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and so I had a chat to Craig, and we decided on Tuesday that we would stop production in 2 weeks, and then and what happens from there I'm not sure. It's come to almost to a head now. I've carried the project about as far as I can with my own money, and I've still got no title sponsor on board, and there's nothing else in the pipeline really imminent that's going to come in with a big bunch of funds. I am still talking to Auckland Finance, but after what's happened with finance companies thus far, I'm not going to hold my breath for that one. There's a good chance that this won't happen, and it'll come